Peace and blessings, kings and queens, and welcome back to my channel. I first want to thank you for clicking on the video because you didn't have to. But as always, I am so glad you did. Thanks for hanging out with your girl. Please excuse the background here. As many of you guys know, I just moved into my own apartment, so things are still just a little hectic. It's actually only been a month, and yes, I am slow in packing and unorganizing, and I kind of have to start over from scratch. So before I get into all of that, this video is basically just a little catch-up video. Hopefully it won't be too long, just let you guys know what I've been up to, what I've been going through. But as I was saying, I have to kind of start over from scratch. Like when I was in Florida, you guys know that I was in Hurricane Ian and I lost everything. So I don't have any furniture. I have a little bit of furniture, you know, some things, beds and everything like that, but I don't have any major furniture. I don't have any shelves. I don't have my apartment like how I would like to have it set up. So I have a lot of things in the closet, all over the place. My babies are all over the place, and it's just crazy right now. But yeah, so I was in Hurricane Ian, and I pretty much lost everything. The trailer that I was living in, even though it did not blow away or get destroyed, it had a lot of water damage because it flooded like 2 feet inside of my trailer. And I was going to try to stay in Florida and just get another place, but circumstances came up where I decided to move back to Maryland to be around my family. At the time, my ex-husband said that he was going to move back up to New York because my ex-husband actually lives in Miami. And he was saying that he was going to move to New York. And from Maryland to New York is only 4 hours. And there's buses and transportation. Just, it runs like every hour. Getting to New York from DC or from New York to DC or back and forth is very, very easy. Even though it's 4 hours away. Even though I was 2 hours away from my ex-husband in Miami to Fort Myers, Florida, transportation isn't very abundant down there. You have to have a vehicle down there or you ain't going nowhere. So the plan was for him to move back to New York. But once I moved back to Maryland, found out that he decided not to move back to New York. But that's another story for another day. You know, God doesn't give you more than you can bear, and I am bearing a lot. But like I said, that's another story. And so yeah, I moved back with my family, and I'm so grateful for that. I moved in with my niece and my nephew. My sister was staying there, but she ended up moving and getting another apartment, so her room was available. And you know, the conversation came up where I can take over her room, and I did. So I came back to Maryland in February of this year, and my plan was to buy a house. Looked into it. My credit is not the best, and you know, I tried to get it back on track, but I'm sorry, bills. You know, I don't make as much as, you know, I used to make before I moved to Florida. And I was making a lot of money before I moved to Florida. But I gave that up for a new, you know, something new, a new opportunity just to, you know, change the scenery. And I do apologize if you guys hear my son in the background. But if you guys are not new to my channel, you know, you guys will hear him all the time. Yeah, so I not making as much money as I was making before I moved to Florida. And although I can get a job making more money because of my skill sets and everything, but the job that I have now, I love this job. And this job allows me to work from home, be able to get my son on the bus and off the bus. If I need to pick him up from school, if he gets sick, if, you know, the holidays are here right now, because actually today is Thanksgiving, but I don't know when you guys are going to see this video because I'm doing like a whole bunch of videos today. But yeah, so he's out of school. If I had to work in a, you know, out of my home, I will have to find daycare for him, and that's more money. So I am saving money not having to commute or having to put him in before or after care. Because even for him, and he's 11, before and after care is $400 a month. And I can't afford that, you know. And this is where I live at, and you know, my money and everything coming in, I am like right at the top of what I can afford. I am not struggling, and I do okay, but I can't take on like another bill or anything like that. It would just be too much for me. But back to when I was living with my niece and everything. And for those of you who don't know, my son is autistic, and for anyone who is not used to that, it can be difficult. The outburst, the stymieing, he has an oral fixation, just a lot of things. Although he is high functioning, but he still has a lot of challenges, and people who aren't used to his little quirks, you know, even though they didn't say anything, you know, you kind of get the vibe that, you know, it was probably a lot for them. But yeah, I was going to get a house, but that didn't work out because I just couldn't afford a house. My credit wasn't good. I didn't have anything saved up, and we were going to try to all get a house together. But that didn't work out. I think, you know, my niece and my nephew, they want to have their own place. So that was one of my deciding factors too. And my son needs his own space because it was a 3-bedroom apartment where we were, and he was sharing the room with me. And like I said, my son is 5'2", 5'3", and he's 11. I'm 5'9", and you know, we can't keep sharing a bed and a room together. It's just becoming too small. And that was one of the issues in Florida as well. If I was going to stay there, I was going to get a bigger place, a 2-bedroom. I was going to leave the trailer eventually anyway. So I found this apartment that wasn't too far from the old place, so he could still go to the same school. His same bus actually comes and pick him up, and it picks him up like right in front of my apartment. What's unique about my apartment is it has a front door and a back door, and I'm going to do an apartment tour. I was going to wait like until I got my place together so you guys can be all cute and everything. I don't know how I'm going to do that, or if I could just show you guys like any old time what it looks like with it being unfinished. I could show you guys now and then do another video, but who knows? I don't know. But it has a front door and a back door. And then the back door, it has this cute little outdoor space, this patio, and it's huge. And I can't wait to decorate that. But, you know, all things in time. But his bus comes right to my back door. Right to my back door. I don't drive. I don't have my license. I probably will never, at my big age, ever get a license. It's done and over with. That ship has sailed. I was in 2 major car accidents growing up, and I think it just traumatized me, and I never put in the effort to get over it. It is what it is. But with the introduction of Uber and Lyft, I don't need a car. I can go anywhere I need to go within 5 minutes. I don't have to leave the house to buy groceries. I can do everything from my house. The only reason why I would leave my house is for entertainment purposes, like to take him out to the park, go to the movies, go just browsing or shopping, or go out to eat. But yeah, and the location that I am in, it has everything around me. Even though I have a laundry facility inside my buildings, like as soon as I go out the door and make a right, it's right there. But I do have a laundromat across the street. I have a grocery store. The Giant is across the street. I have a clothing store. I have a dollar store. I have restaurants, Burger King, Taco Bell, Lido's Pizza. There's I think it's a Chinese restaurant around there as well. There's barbershops, hair salons, anything you could think of. I live in walking distance of it. And we also have a movie theater, a $5 movie theater at that. Right up the street. So we are in walking distance to everything. So I have been blessed and fortunate to find this place. I have just been thanking God because my situation I have been through a lot. And when I tell people my story, my niece tell me I need to write a book, but I've always been cautious about that, because me telling my story would involve mentioning other people that has contribute to my story. And I have not had good relationships with those other people. And like I said, when you do a tell-all story, feelings are going to get hurt. And I do apologize if sometimes it looks like I'm looking in the camera or I'm not. I need to get a good camera. Right now I'm using my iPhone and I'm on this tripod that's sideways. So the top part of the iPhone is right here. So, but I'm looking at myself. I keep looking at myself. So I apologize. I'm trying to stay focused and look into the camera lens, but I'm an amateur. I'm not a professional, video maker. So I'm doing the best that I can. And I'm rambling. And you guys know I do that. So back on topic. But yeah, but for me to tell my story, a lot of people's feelings will get hurt. And I try to spare people's feelings unless I'm backed into a corner and I just have no choice but to let it all out. But my niece tells me all the time that my story can probably help somebody else's story. And it's not like my story is over, because I'm still dealing with a lot, but I believe in a higher power and it's getting me through everything. Like I said, I am constantly thankful for what I have. I love my little apartment. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. And like I said, it has that cute little patio. Man, I don't even use my front door. The only time I use my front door is if I'm washing clothes or if I order something and then they come to my front door, because on the apps that I use, like Uber Eats, or if I order groceries, I do instruct them to come to the back, because I live in the basement and they have to come down like 3 flights of stairs. So if they come around back, they don't have to do all that. But yeah, so like I was saying, I've been through a lot, and I'm still surviving, and I'm still smiling, and I'm still, growing. It doesn't matter how old you get. As long as you have breath in your body, you're going to have trials and tribulations, and it's all in how you deal with those trials and tribulations. And I'm just trying to make it. And in this economy that we live in, it is crazy. Like, I wish I made more money, but like I said, it's what would I be giving up to make that more money? You know what I'm saying? And it's just not worth it to me right now. While my son is at that critical age where he needs me to be more accessible and flexible for him. But yeah, I'm doing a video. No, you cannot have that, Jahar. You just had one. You had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you had a banana. Can you close my door, please? You are not that hungry.
Yes, I am.
Come say hi to the people. You want to come say hi?
No. I'm so hungry.
You're always hungry.
I'm hungry.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, and I had bought like 14 items, and it came up to like $83, something like that. And I was just so shocked. It wasn't my groceries for my Thanksgiving. It was just something to tide us over until I went grocery shopping for Thanksgiving. And I'm like, 14 items cost $90. That's crazy to me. And I'm in the process of applying for food stamps. I don't know if I'll get it or not, because I'm in that threshold where I don't make a lot of money, but I make too much money to get assistance, which I think is crazy. That needs to change, especially with everything going up in America. I mean, rent is too high. When I coming back home, before I went to Florida 5-6 years ago, I applied for a 2-bedroom apartment over there off of Darnell Drive in Forestville, Maryland. For those of you who follow me who do live in my area. So that apartment I applied for was a 2-bedroom apartment, and it was all utilities included for like $800. That same apartment, because I checked it, that same apartment now is $1,400 in 5 years, starting off. And just because you paint the walls gray, you put down that cheap vinyl. You might make a little breakfast nook where you knock down a wall or cut a wall and make it a bar. That does not justify $1,400 a month for rent, especially when people's jobs aren't matching that. Cost of living increase is non-existent, and when they do give you a cost of living increase, it's 50 cents or $1. Taxes eat that up. So I'm just like, we need help over here. Shoot, you barely making it. You're barely making it. And like I said, I'm lucky that I have been able to have like a little part-time job that I do, but I don't do it consistently because honestly, I'm tired when I get off work. That's just life, and I'm not getting child support, but again, that's another story. Things are just, things are more difficult than I would like. I am surviving, I am, but it would be nice just to have a little cushion. So yeah, that's really what's been going on. What's been going on with me. I am, like I said, I'm doing more videos since I'm kind of getting settled. So yeah, that's really it. I think I've run out of things to say because I could keep talking, but I'd just be rambling at this point. But yeah, guys, that's kind of been what's been going on with me. I'm still at the job that I was in when I was in Florida. Thank God they allowed me to transfer. I'm in my own place. I am no longer sick because the last couple of videos I was suffering from an upper respiratory, so that's done and gone. So right now I'm going to go in the kitchen and start cooking Thanksgiving dinner. I'm not going to have a turkey this year because it's just me and my son. So we're going to have a chicken hen, a Cornish hen. And that's going to be it for this video. So until next time, guys, I welcome any questions. If you got questions, you can put them down in the comment. Any videos that you'd like to see me do, you can put it down in the comments. Just want to say hey, put it down in the comments. I would like to ask you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I do all types of things on this channel. Mostly it's reborn dolls, but I'm trying to expand. I was going to create other channels to try to do some other things, but that just takes a lot of work. And I'm the type of person where I'm just like, this is my channel. I should be able to put what I want on my channel. But like I said, for the most part, it's like reborn dolls or retro toys from like the 80s, from when I was a little kid. Yeah, so if you like what you see and you want to see more of it, subscribe, like, share. And until next time, guys, be blessed. And I hope you're having a wonderful holiday.